pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. And the 8th play on this drive coming up.
Let's go! Green, 39!
They'll run here with Bernard. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Giovanni Bernard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts the defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Time to tighten up the seatbelt just a little bit, partner, because that was a safety that crashed in there and made that play behind the line of scrimmage. How about that pursuit?
Now let's go! Blue, 90!
He'll look to throw. Left side, it's Dorsett. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know it's the first half, but it's still hard to curb the enthusiasm for that stop. 3rd and 1, and the offense can't get there. The defensive team has got to feel very good about themselves. Great job out-leveraging the offense.
And an alley to run. And he'll cut it to the left sideline. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. It's a big-time play there on 4th down. 33 yards. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Oh, man, a big play right there. It's 4th down, and you just need a yard to get it first.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And he knocks it through. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They come up in an offset eye.
No, check, Patriot!
Again, here's Bernard. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
So let me make sure I have this right. He's already found the end zone once, and now he's ripped off a big chunk of yardage here on this one. His confidence is awfully high. So now I've got to put myself in the shoes of the defensive coordinator.
All right, here we go.
Do I go ahead and sell out to try and stop him and force him to do something different? Or do I risk him having a big monster day against my defense?
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Here we go. 3
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together.
All right, here we go. Blue, landing. Blue, landing.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Finding time. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Now Bernard, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. The loss of 3 yards.
Direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him, sat there waiting for him and made the play.
Wonder what's in the offensive playbook on 3rd and 13. We're about to find out.
All right, here we go. Blue, landing. Blue, landing.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down. Now the Bengals will settle for 3 as the field goal unit comes on here. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
This will be taken in at the 1. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, 49ers. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And once again, the 49ers are back out in front. And that makes it 14-10. And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. So it'll be first down here after the run.
So this game's not very far along, and he's already found the end zone once, and now he started this drive with another big gain, another first down run. I've got to wonder if I'm the defensive coordinator. What do I do in this situation? It's only the first quarter.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a second down at 5 here to start things out. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll run it here with Bernard. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. They'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
That play never got off the ground because of the defensive front. They owned the offensive line, which allowed the linebackers to see their openings and run straight to the ball. That's why that play just never had a chance.
To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Well, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Now they'll run it on the toss. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long.
Well, anytime it's a toss or a pitch play, it's a battle for the edges. Who's going to control the edge of the line of scrimmage? In other words, can the defensive guys hold their leverage? What we were always taught was keep your outside arm or outside shoulder free if you were playing on the play side, meaning the ball coming towards you, and anyone coming from the backside, they're pinching down and sliding down towards it to try and keep people kind of locked into one spot. And boy, what a great defensive play there. Worn out leverage, running to the football from the inside out, turned into a big loss of yardage.
The left side caught by Diggs. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy. He came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, 49ers. Philip Dorsett, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. Took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, if something got there'll be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now back to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Here we go now. 3-19.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Darquez Denard. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. So they just got the football on an interception. They almost gave it right back the same way.
And you know, when you look over to the bench after that type of a play, number one is pure relief. Didn't give it up. But it's not the coach you're worried about yelling at you. It's those guys on defense who just intercepted the pass who want to break over there. Hey, take care of the football, man.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And incomplete here on 3rd down.
And there's a good opportunity to just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
And Zerline's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
Now the Bengals defense readies as they head onto the field. They had the interception last time, led to a field goal.
And kept points off the board against them as well. What a great way to end a drive. Take it away and set your offense up to put points on the board themselves.
The only thing would have been better a touchdown. Now they'll be looking to get the stop and lead to that here on the next drive. And that one results in 35 yards. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
A lot of receivers see the drag route as a risk-reward type of a play. The risk, going into the middle of the field where there's some big people want to hit you. But the reward is oftentimes you get lost in coverage, running a little bit underneath. And when you catch it just right, as we just saw there, the end result can be a big, big play. Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense. Automatic 1st down.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They come out here in the eye, and they'll run it here. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
Back to throw here. His throw incomplete. Jalen Strong, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. On now, it's Blair Walsh as he'll try the field goal here. From the left hash, a chip shot here.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
On the screen, Bernard. Oh, spinning away. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. The business to take care of before that. They're going to look to throw. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And all the gamble fails. It's incomplete.
Well, the element of surprise was there. All right, there's no doubt about it. For us, maybe. But not for the guys on defense. An incomplete pass on the fake field goal attempt.
I guess, though, if you're trying to pick up the first in that spot, why not let your QB throw the ball, right?
You thinking that might be a better way to
Instead of
go?
your kicker, yeah. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guys haven't.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 20. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, nice move. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
He'll drop to throw. Surveying the field. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And that is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This will be taken at the 10. Always got some breathing room. Touchdown, 49ers.
You got a guy that fast back there to receive punts. That's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. But it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
And his kick is right through. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Here's Bernard, and he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's second and long. And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3, those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you describe that, because if they control things up.
And never mind, Larry. These two teams apparently anxious to get back at it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. On the return, here's Justin Gilbert. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals defense getting ready to go again. They're losing here as we begin the third quarter, trying to stop this from being a bigger deficit.
I used to play for a coach who always talked about getting the other team's attention. And in this case, they want to let them know that you're going to do the dictating from here on out, not the other way around.
Trying to impose their will as we start the third.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. They'll drop the throw. It's complete to Diggs. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position, because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Left side, it's Dorsett. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 12 yards on the pickup. And the 49ers are going to get a first. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Second down now after the incompletion.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And the cutback to the sideline. 18 yards there and a first down.
Another good run there, and now we're seeing an offense that's imposed its will on a defense. When we talk about that all the time, what does it really mean? It means that the guys on the offensive line, they feel like they can do whatever they want. They're in the huddle saying, run it again. Give us another chance to smack someone and create some space. On the defensive side of the ball, not only have they imposed their will against you, you're almost powerless to figure out what you're doing there, but you got to keep your spirit up at the same time, and they're taking that too. Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. But an alert 49er able to gain possession, so they will indeed hold on to the pigskin.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal.
That's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half, of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this.
And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Their big tight end with his first career NFL touchdown. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on. And oh, he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
He'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Fighting through. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's fourth. The Bengals bring out their punter now. He's been terrific so far.
They dialed up the screen pass on third down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
This will be fielded at the 17.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Hurry up, here we go.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Dorsett making the catch. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, you're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26. So back-to-back games here of great production. And just, you know, his cuts, they're so quick last week and this week.
That comes from confidence, I think. He understands what the defense is trying to do. But I think he has so much belief in his offensive line that he's just saying, the block's going to be there. I'm not worried about it. And we saw that last week. In fact, they were so good last week on the flight home. I actually plugged in the game and watched the offensive line play one more time. I was so impressed by them. And they're carrying it over to this week. And, of course, when you got a big-time runner behind them, that's a pretty good combination.
Doesn't hurt. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He loses 5 full yards to bring up 4th.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell him, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
They'll look to throw, and it is incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out, and the Bengals will get the football back. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. So the offense has it 1st and 10. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target, and it's 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away, but the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
They're going to look to throw, finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he fins him off. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see.
Back now here in Santa Clara. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Now back to throw. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put it up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it. I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
They send Green to the left on his own. And, Charles, this infraction is going to be against the offense. False start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Let's go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
They'll set up a throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. A big play there on the catch and run. 46 yards. So after being silenced a week ago, he's not being silenced here in this one. And you knew a guy like him wouldn't be held down for 2 straight weeks.
Feels like they just decided to game plan early to get him involved and get him off the schneid, because you don't want a week like last week to linger. Just give the ball to him early and let him turn in a big-time performance, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game. Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
Get a completion.
you get a catch.
Yeah.
but still, no yardage. Okay.
And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. A great effort there. His third touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the 49ers continue to roll. And he'll bang that one through. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, he shifts past him. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Fresh set of downs here. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there.
False start, offense.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He gets this one to Boyd. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They'll get 17 yards there. And that'll be good enough for a Cincinnati first.
Let's go! Blue 90!
They'll look to throw here on first down. He's got time. And his throw here's incomplete. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And this is incomplete.
The defensive coordinator came into this game with a plan to get to the quarterback with whatever type of pressure is necessary. It's working to perfection for him today.
Now whistles and a flag. And I believe a Bengal got going a little early there.
False start, offense.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. An extra DB for the 49ers now on third. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Finding time. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And now the 49er offense ready to go and getting back out onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, 49ers. A great play there. His second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
And out now, here come the Bengals. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Now whistles and a flag. And I believe a Bengal got going a little early there.
False start. Offense.
So a costly penalty and now a tougher 3rd down situation. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Surveying the field. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Dante Fowler. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. Young quarterback, got to learn. Need to get rid of the football.
Because when you don't get rid of the ball, they accumulate more sacks. But you're exactly right. Internal clock has to go off. Either get rid of it or start to take off and go.
So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good. So they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. Vontaze Burfict, the one to get him down.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well. Because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam to the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, hello, my name is Mike. And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Now a handoff looking right. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. It's a defensive return for a late touchdown. So they still need somewhat of a miracle here, but at least that gets them a little bit closer. And at this point, after that return for a touchdown, I guess the only thing is you're asking what else could go wrong.
Not only that, I think that between the two of us, we thought this was over before. I believe now it's really over.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. And he'll power his way up near the 25. That'll get them some of what they needed, but they're still left here with a 3rd and 9 forthcoming.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
I bet you